All right, I'd like to open the meeting of the Works and Services Committee. Just attendance, I think everyone's here today, so there's no apologies. Moving to item 3, minutes of the Works and Service Committee held on the 19th of June 2025, confirm as a true and correct record. Do I have a mover?
Yeah, mover.
Yep, Stephen. And seconder, Brendan. All right, down to item 4.
Do you just want to vote on that?
Sorry, yes.
Second,
Do we move that's a true and correct record? Yes, unanimous. All right, moving down, Works and Services Program Area Updates. So with that, I think we could hand over to Greg, because quite a bit of this is for him to work us through.
Thanks, Greg. Mr. Chair. Just before we go through that, I'd just like to assure the committee that whilst I'm on leave, that all the operations and all the schedules that we've going to be doing will be covered during my period of leave. The CEO and I have worked closely to ensure that all contingencies across the programs are met, and I'm confident that our works will continue without any interruptions. We've just moved the stuff around a bit. Between the CEO and myself, we've all the operations and responsibilities covered. The works for the program will remain on track. Heading into the fully phased 2025-26 construction season, the only disruption will be during my leave, but then we can get back on track as soon as I get back on all the structured survey and technical sort of works that need to be done. So I just wanted to put that up first, just to make sure that we're everything. The CEO and I've got that covered, so everything should be fine. We've got the program. What we're doing at the moment, we're working on the Shepherd Road floodway. We put a low flow pipe in that. It's been an issue for quite a few years, and we're just going to redo the floodway, which we're pretty well completed now. We're going to be doing that heavy patch on the Shackville Barron Road that's been there near the water tanks. We're hooking into that next week, so that should be done. Well, the base work's done, then we'll seal it when we get that multi-patcher in February, but we're stabilising it so it won't fail, because we're stabilising the works with cement, so we'll just leave a little bit of proud, and once the works are ready to seal, we'll just cut it off and then seal it. Old Beverley Works, we're just going to be doing some pre-construction works on that, as in like clearing the verges under the trees, getting all the dead sticks and all that out. So we're going to be doing that straight after the Shackville Barron job. Then we'll just slip up to the Hines Hill Road and start just boxing out the shoulder works and all that sort of stuff, and importing the gravel for preparation before we start doing that work. So that all that works, the pre-works, will be done whilst I'm on leave. So there's going to be no technical levels or anything like that we need to look at whilst I'm on leave. So it's just a matter of getting all the pre-works done. Once I get back off leave, we'll be back into the technical part of getting those road construction jobs completed. We've set back the Narrabeen intersection till once we get back. The bridge works, because we're getting close to harvest, we decided to swap that around for wait till after harvest, and then we're going to be doing the footpaths on Railway Parade this month. So we'll knock off all that sort of stuff before they go out after Christmas and do the bridge works. At the moment, we're just doing some verge works up on Depot Road and Lotars Road. It's a little bit of training for the the grader drivers as well on what to do when we're, putting new drains in and clearing verges and all that sort of stuff. So they're just up there with the leading hand. He's given them some guidance on how to do that sort of work. So he probably later on he can just let them do it once they're up to speed on that. So we're just starting to do that sort of work now, just to get them up to speed. Same as road patching, we've got the crews out patching as many holes as we can. Guide posts, potholes and all that sort of stuff. So we're just doing a lot of maintenance work as well at the moment while we can. Shepherd Road plant, I've just got currently some quotations for a couple of vehicles that we've got in the budget for replacement. And there's just a bit of a spiel on the multi-patcher. Any comments so far? Do we want to
just on the patching there, whereabouts are you working at the moment with it?
We were working up on Walgett Road, and we just moved to Foss Road.
Okay.
That's pretty, not real flash at the moment.
I went down Totetron Hall Road
Yep.
a couple of days ago, and you've done a lot through just after the floodway there, but there's just holes appearing all the time now, and especially going up until the boundary starts within Meriden Shire there.
Yep.
There's a lot of holes happening there now.
Okay.
And I'm just more concerned about harvest starting. There's going to be road trains belting down that road.
No
for
worries.
next- alright.
I'll put that on the list. So I've got a bit of a priority list for Jordan to set his crew. I actually haven't been up there, but I think, Kevin, you said there was a few issues up there. So
that was one that I was going to bring up. Yeah,
Yep.
today was that one. But yes, they've done a lot in that section, but
Yes.
right on the like where the Meriden boundary almost is, there's some decent ones.
Yeah, they're really starting to show up again now. So
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So I'll just anything else. If you just text me or something like that, if you do some, if you know that some big ones, I can just pass that through to Jordan. He can put it on his list.
And in the absence of when Greg is away, I'll be having weekly catch-ups, and I'll be down the depot several times during the week. So if there is any, continue to text if there is anything, because I will then pass that on to Jordan if need be. So I'll be engaging quite frequently with the team.
And we have discussed with the team with supervisors that whilst I'm away, Mark said his phone number is the contact details. So if there's any issues, they just go straight to Mark. Just a bit of compliance stuff that I've put down there, which the tech officer kind of like should be doing. We haven't got right into that yet, but there's a few bits and pieces that I have been doing in regards to that. I've done a playground inspection training the other day, so I can get stuck into making sure all our playgrounds are up to spec and we can tick off and all that sort of stuff. So we're moving slowly into that sort of role, so I can get some of that work done. Just a bit of a thing on the change over the recruitment process. As we all know, we find it a bit difficult to get a replacement for the manager of work, so the CEO's working through that as well. So when that happens, it'll happen. So
The only thing I would say to that, through the chair, is that myself and the current manager of Works and Services is having conversations with regards to the necessity to undertake bridge inspections on return as well. And actually, we have a plan in place to offset some of the high level work, so that frees up the manager of Works and Services to both supervise and also undertake inspections, whilst we're still trying to recruit for a manager of Works and Services.
thank you for that. Dams, water, we're still working with the Department of Water. We've got a contractor coming in to commission the solar pump at the Nurnigan Road project in a couple of weeks' time, or a week and a half's time, and we're getting the other solar pump put in up at the Turkey's Nest at the same time there, so should have all that up to speed shortly, so we can pump water out of that big tank our crew's going to build the manifold stand for when they just put the manifold, the cam blocks out on next to the other two tanks. It's just going to be a little bit north of that. There's going to be a manifold there so we can hook into the unskimmed water. So that should be operational shortly, and we can use that for anything like firefighting or roadworks or anything like that instead of using skimmed water.
Sorry, well, just while we're on that, I think that is probably something we do need to pay close attention to this summer, unless we get some severe thunderstorms over summer. Water's going to be an issue going into next year, so that will be an area of concern, unless something happens over the summer months. But certainly looking at our dam levels, we're starting on the back foot early this year. So
certainly, yeah. There's not much in Negri where we're pumping from the catchment, so it's not going into the turkey's nest still because we haven't got any feedback from the department on whether we have got that grant or not to desilt the turkey's nest. They still haven't made a decision on it. So we're pumping water. We're catching the water next to it, and we're pumping up to Negri Dam. There's probably only about 1,000 kilolitres in there, so it's not much, but there's a little bit in there, but there's nothing in the back. So that part of the Shire, where we normally catch all that water, there's nothing gone into that dam at all. I think the rec centre dam's full, and that's the only one that's full. And the Curry's dam, that's full, and the big tank's got probably 3/4 in it. So yeah, it's going to be probably going to be a fairly tough dry one, unless something happens. Yeah, so with the dams and water, we're just still working with the Department of Water. They've been fantastic, and we're just scoping up the depot water catchment at the moment, just working out where we're going to put the tanks and what actual sheds we're going to collect water from. We've got to put all new guttering on and all that sort of stuff and pipe it all into the tanks, so we're just working with them with that. And that's probably just about it. If there's any questions or anything.
yeah, just on that. So what are we able to make contact and find out what is taking so long to get an answer? Because this dates back to
The work, yeah.
like last, like I think it was last year, was it? Am I not
Certainly
correct in
was.
saying like some stage last year we had all that put in, and it's how long does it take to get an answer on something?
I've emailed the department it's different funding from what we're doing with the solar pumps and all that, and both my contacts have said it's just one of those things. They're waiting for the minister to actually sign off on it, and it's not just us, it's everyone that put in applications for that stuff last year. They're still waiting. It's a ministerial thing, so I can't answer that, and I do ask every month to say, to get an update on where we are with it, because we're trying to get that done before winter to clean it out. But
Through the chair, I mean, that's consistent. I mean, at the convention week, I was speaking with some of the CEOs from the Wirrop region, and they have got similar applications in them there. Some were rumoured to say that we won't know till December. Again, it's taken out far too long for the reason that Greg has said, and there's a frustration for not just us but many other LGs at the moment.
Particularly with the project we've got, it's a summer project, so if you don't get an answer in those summer, you miss the window again. So hopefully we do have an answer by December.
Yep. Kevin, and as we know, it's not unusual for this to happen, and I'm not sure we could actually plan on having any water in them. You get a thunderstorm, that's terrific, but we've got a lot of work to do to get them set up. And it still comes back to the amount of grass that we've got to water, and provided that we have allowed money in the budget for scheme, and provided all of that's ready to go, the grass isn't let go too badly before we start watering, that's what we have to do. But probably, Greg, my question, so the solar pump, and I'm probably looking for more of a diagram how it's all going to work. So the solar pump is going to pump water down to the Negri Dam, no? The one up on the Turkey's Nest.
It can pump. It's going to pump from the because we've got that.
Sump.
Well, we've got there's two dams at the Turkey's Nest as a catchment, and then there's a main dam, and they've got pipes in between, and we've got floodgates on them. Once you get to a certain level there, you won't be able to pump through.
No.
So I'm pumping any catchment that comes into the catchment. I can pump it straight over the top to fill up the actual Turkey's Nest. So that means we can keep the catchment low for all those flows that come in and fill up the Turkey's Nest instead of just having it like half filled. It can only half fill with those with the pipes because it gets up to a certain level,
Yeah.
and it won't go any further. So we can shut the floodgates and pump over the top and fill up the Turkey's Nest and keep the intake or the catchment low and pump over the top to fill up the Turkey's Nest
With our big pump.
with this solar pump that we're using, because that's set up in between both of them. And soon as as you know, I don't know if you've seen the Turkey's Nest, there's two kind of like dams there.
Yeah, but no, I know the dam.
Yeah, so the one that comes in is your catchment. We're going to pump straight over the wall into the actual Turkey's Nest to keep that catchment one low, so it can keep on. Yeah.
I'm happy to save my questions till later.
Yeah, so my only concern with that is we did make the big pump mobile a few years ago because the issue will be you're not going to be able to get the water over the wall at the speed that it's coming in.
Yep.
So it's fine. Like having a solar pump there works to keep, like if it's full, just to get that down before the next rain. But if you had a bigger rain event, I think you almost need to have it set up that you could put that big pump up there also and pump it over the wall.
We've got that option as well. The idea is not to use. The solar part is free from the energy from our sun. We can use that other big pump which goes up to Negri dams. We can utilise that up there for catchment because that can pump over the wall as well. What we're currently doing to pump out of the Curry's Dam, we've got to use the big pump there to pump water out if we want to fill up the big tank or pump it down through to the Turkey's Nest. We're using a solar pump now to do that. So we've put a solar pump up there so we can pump into that big tank or pump it directly down to Nurnigan tank, which we've just put in. I don't know if you've seen the tanks. We've just put a 250,000 litre tank just down behind those two poly tanks opposite the depot. That can fill up that, and then we can utilise that the water out of that for whatever. But then we can divert the water down to the Turkey's Nest from up there as well. Whichever way we go, we've got 3 or 4 ways we can transfer water. But happy to discuss.
Yeah, I'd probably just take it a bit further.
Yep.
So we're talking about when it does rain, and we do get the water coming down the big creeks. And we've had the problem before. Yes, the pipes are fine, doing what they're doing. Got to make sure that everything's lubricated, that they're actually open, because one year they didn't, and that caused a problem. So make sure they're free, and then the level of the overflow on the front dam, and we've looked at doing something with it. It can't be built up to hold more of that water so we can get over the back, because it'll flood the road. So when that water's coming down, it's flowing out the overflow as well as flowing into the back dam.
Yep.
And it can, and I'm only estimating the rate, but it can be between 1 and 3,000 cubic metres an hour It's quite a huge torrent. When it gets going, we're losing all that water.
Yep.
So we had discussions, and there wasn't really an appetite time for it, but about hiring a big screw pump from Kwinana. I did some research, and just have one on the dam bank, and you can pump that much water with that, while we're losing that stuff at the front, and get that stuff in the turkey nest. I thought that's where we were going with our pump. While it's only a modest pump compared to what you can get, at least have that ready and have that going. Because a solar pump's nothing, is it? It's all right for getting water back, perhaps, but it's not going to do anything for the volume, because you only got a certain amount of time it'll run, that creek, and unfortunately we lose that much water.
That has been set up at that dam now.
So-
For that
Yep.
it's a 6 inch.
Okay.
So that has been cut into the bank, and the plumbing's, so down here, that was done.
On the front dam.
On the
to
front dam
yeah.
to the back. So that was all set up, I think last winter.
It was before my time.
Yeah,
But
we cut, if you go down there now,
Yeah.
it's actually been cut into the water.
Right.
We back that in, and the plumbing's, it's now set up, so if it rains, you can take the trailer down there, back it in, plug it on, and it's away.
So what's the solar pump doing? I'm not.
That, we're talking about you're talking about the other
The
dam.
other
That
dam.
was the one that we've still yet to desilt.
Yep.
Right. So if we're going to pump water with a solar pump down to the front dam, and yes, it's free to be doing that, we're using mechanical pumps at the moment when that dam's operational. So just dribble feed it in there, because that has the same catchment. When we do get a decent amount of water can get in there rather quickly, and you need to get it out. Is that?
There's two, with that big trailer pump we've got, we can hook that onto the turkey's nest, or we can hook it onto Negri's front and back, so we can pump
Yeah.
over the wall there. So that's the versatility of having the actual trailer pump as well. But the idea was to have solar, so when you do get a catchment, you can actually transfer water without running up and turning on the pump, all that sort of stuff, because it is a big pump, the trailer mounted one. We can utilise that as well. But the idea was with the Department of Water to set up Curry's Dam with a solar, so we can just go pump it into that big tank, because that's how we were transferring water around the dam first off. And then we had the idea of, with the turkey's nest, if we shut those floodgates, I can still fill over the top out of that catchment and fill up that turkey's nest to get more volume of water with obviously a slower rate, but then we can still use that big pump to transfer water to Negri's.
Thank you.
We have made another little dam at the front of it, and we can plumb straight into the pipework going from the actual turkey's nest up to Negri's dam. So we have been utilising that just with a little sludge pump to move water up there while we can. But that's still fairly slow as well. But we've got a few methods where we can transfer water. The solar was just another.
Value add.
Yeah.
But at this point, we actually haven't lost any water, because any of the water going down this side of town has been going into this makeshift little catchment, and so far the volumes of water haven't been that it's gone over the top. So anything on this side of town we've captured to this point.
So far. Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Regional and subgroup meetings. So we had a subgroup meeting
2 weeks ago, 3
2
weeks
weeks
ago.
ago. There's no major pressing matters come from that. The only concern with that meeting was that Condon having a new CEO in the role. We did offer that we may extend our role a bit longer if needed, but it seems as though they are, being that the next meeting will probably be early next year, that they think that they will be organised to be able to take it on. But we have made that offer to them, that if they did need us to chair another meeting, then we were happy to do so. And we've got a regional road group meeting in Wickepin tomorrow. So.
Friday.
Sorry, not tomorrow, Friday. So, yeah. And finance.
Through the chair, I'll say the reserves management, just identifying there is not much movement, so it pretty much as is once adopted. I think once we've done quarterly deep dives, there might be some more information at the next Works and Services meeting, but there's nothing really to update other than that we're investing our funds and in term deposits, so it's not as lazy. And I'll give a more comprehensive update on reserve details at the next meeting.
All right. So other matters.
Yeah, Kim, just on the finance, just wondering, Mark, we've obviously got our budget review in February.
Yeah, absolutely.
Full council review for the works and services, that we can get a breakdown of our costs for example, the contractors that have come in, the Old Beverley Road, the resealing, so we can drill down on that too as a committee.
Through the chair, I think that's absolutely it's not about, as you say, respectfully, we're going to do like a mini budget process as opposed to just a light touch sort of budget review, and I think it's really important as we learn our expenditure trends and certainly with some of the potential overspends, just to actually understand the full impact of that. Mm-hmm. And I think that if we in having a Works and Services Committee meeting well before the actual OCM, would enable us to have a really good comprehensive conversation regarding our spend for the first half of the year. So I'll absolutely take that on notice, Councillor, and make sure that we have a really good financial conversation and the information to support that.
And we have discussed this, that pull it all apart, break it down to see what we've done this year and going into next year, how those numbers stack up and whether we've got to work harder on our winter grading crew for them to be doing more, or how the whole cost structure looks after using the contractors and how that all looks, so that we can actually see the breakdown of it and exactly know what that looks like for next year. So.
Through the chair, the contractors have finished, so I've just got the bills in, or nearly got them in. So then I can start doing a comparison on kilometres that they've done, and then we can probably for the next committee meeting I can give you a bit of a briefing on what it was against our rates, on our kilometre rates against the contractors as in real time. When we put it together, it was just like a paper estimate to see the comparisons, but this will be a real-time comparison because the job's already been done, and then we can work out what the costs actually were per kilometre.
And through the chair, can I recommend, Greg, that because you put out a paper, I think, Councillor Strange, it was when you weren't, I think it was when you was away on holiday. Can you actually use that so we've got our initial assumptions up front and then basically bolt onto the back of that what the actual cost was? Because then we're also gauging that our assumptions and our estimates are close, and we can then, it just makes more of a wholesome conversation regarding the contractor usage.
And December meeting would be, if we have one around December, would be good before we go into next year, so that we can start to set ourselves for the new year and how that all looks.
Just through you, Kevin, the jobs that are the contractors, are you happy with the results of their work?
Yep, through the chair, yep. I was happy with our work as well. I think that our guys stepped up another level or two. The CEO and I had conversations with them before the contractors come on board regarding all that, and they seem to take on board that they needed to step up. I've been out and inspected all the roads with the different contractors, and everything seemed quite good. And the kilometres they were doing per day was was in comparison with everything. So I was happy with the contractor's work and I was happy with the Shire work.
And through the chair, if I may, suggestion at Council Day next week is that we'll get in the bus and actually go out and take council to see the work that's been done, if that's something that's the committee thinks would be of value. We can certainly do a bit of a bus tour, take an hour to go out, and actually I'm not sure that we can see all of the kilometres that have been done, but certainly you can see a sample of where contractors and works crew have done the work.
And feedback I've got from different areas of the Shire where different contractors have been, the feedback's been positive.
Yep.
In all areas of the Shire. Probably the one thing that has been brought up, which we're well aware of, next year we have to make sure that spraying program, and speaking to the greater drivers, that's obviously as the season's gone on, you know, it's made it harder with the amount of grass and some of the roads. You can certainly see even on the close to the bitumen, there's a lot of green by the the last couple of weeks where they've been working, you know, on the actual shoulders. So yeah. Right, so is there any other matters that we need to discuss?
Just to jog my memory, it's just we got down here they got currently seeking quotations for 2 vehicles.
Yep.
Which vehicles are they?
We've got the town crew, Vern's crew. He's got his vehicles done, I think about 140,000 k's. It's a Mitsubishi station wagon, and we're looking at the rec centre manager's vehicle. That was going to be trade or moved back to the tech officer's vehicle and get a new vehicle for the rec centre manager, which was going to be a dual cab trade back. So we just not because that vehicle's fairly new. I think it's only about 2 years old and hasn't done many Ks. So we're just going to move that slot back to the tech officer's vehicle and have the newer vehicle for the rec centre, which was going to be a dual cab trade back.
Okay.
So that was the
there was nothing written there, that's all.
All right, so other matters, we're looking at committee governance. So by the time we have our next Works and Services Committee, we'll have had an election. So with that, we'll have to choose a new Works Committee. So that'll be after the special council meeting. But on that matter, as the Chair of Works and Services, I'd just like to thank you, Brendan, for your input and your time in these meetings, extra time. So certainly appreciated your input over the journey and wish you all the best in your time after Shire. So thank you.
Thanks, mate. No, enjoyed it.
Is there any other matters?
Just to the chair, thank you. And just regarding the reporting requirements, we will put a short agenda item together for this meeting so that it can be noted by council at OCM. And the only other thing I wanted to mention was I have put in front of you. This is I think we're 2 months into having this annual works and services task schedule. It's a live document. I'm meeting regularly with, when I say regularly, weekly, with work supervisors and a manager of works and services. And we go through this line by line. So, and again, councillors, you will know it's in your document centre and you'll have this updated version for October. I've just presented it to you now for some perusal leading up to council meeting next week. There may well be some input or some feedback, some consideration for items that may be in there that or not in there, or further clarification. And as we progress the status update, we will start to move towards putting a little bit more information with regards to status updates, so that it's pretty much all within the document. And the changes that that Greg reflected regarding with himself going on leave have been amended within this current version, which will go into the document centre by the end of the week. So I don't know if anyone's got any comments or anything at the moment, but anything that's in red not started is because it should have been, and a lot of that is reflective of tech officer work, but we will be addressing that by November. And yeah, if there's any questions or queries now or going forward, really happy to take any questions. But this enables us, not just as a committee, but as a whole council and for the administration outside of Works and Services, to have good visibility of what we should be working towards.
Probably just one question, Kevin, to Greg, and I'm sure the timeline's moved, but the cleaning of roadside drains and culverts, for example, you've got in February. Did you initially plan on doing that more in the earlier autumn?
We are planning to do that before.
In summer and autumn, yeah. Because it just jumps out that, well, forget the opportunity, we might be maintenance grading in April.
Yep.
We don't want to be out there doing those other things.
It's just whether it's the idea of trying to clean those drains out when we're not doing construction or maintenance grading. So we'll just get into that sort of stuff in the off season prior to when we're doing the other works.
Can I ask then, is there an appetite to shift? Because at the moment the roadside drains and culverts is identified for commencement in around April time. Should that be amended, Greg?
I'm just trying to find it where we got the pole patching. I think we can amend it outside this meeting.
Sure.
Just to, yeah, we might have just, I might have just put it in the wrong section.
We'll take that offline, but we'll make sure that we've made some. We'll do another further review based on your feedback, councillor, and that will be amended for documents.
Yeah, I just recollect us talking about this. It worked out particularly well doing some of the drainage work in that summer period. You know, when the opportunity arose, when you weren't doing construction and got the graders out, and again you get those storms and those drains are ready to go.
Yep, no, certainly. I'll take that on board, thank you.
All right, if there's no other questions from that, I think we're
The next meeting.
to the next meeting. We've got in here is December, but certainly we'd need to wait until Greg's back from leave, so that's probably.
Through the chair, I was merely going to say we've got the council day on the 18th. It's whether or not the committee wants to meet in the morning of that day, or if you want to have it outside of council day, more than happy to accommodate. Hence the to be confirmed there. Otherwise, it will be the 18th of December in the morning, say at 9 o'clock.
I think that would work. At being that time of the year, I think if we do it all on the same day, would be probably better at that point of the season.
No worries.
So yeah, with that, we'll close the meeting.